Now known as Tropical Storm Sally, but when it was a hurricane, it whacked the Gulf Coast. We're going to show you the damage and track where it's headed next.
This is News 4 Nashville.
All right, well, you look at this. A market that sells seafood is now underwater itself. This is the punch from Tropical Storm Sally, churning slowly over the Gulf Coast, leaving behind floods, damaged homes, and no power.
Thanks for joining us on air and streaming right now live on the News 4 app.
So we're going to show you the latest from Sally in just a moment, but we begin with a question to you from the mayor. What if your trash wasn't picked up each week or firefighters weren't available when your house was on fire?
Mayor Cooper says our essential services would be gutted if people vote down the 34% property tax increase that's been approved by the council. News 4's Carly Gordon is working for you tonight, explaining that city departments would have to decide which services need to be cut.
We have some extraordinary video to show you tonight from the devastation called Sally. It's now a tropical storm, but as the hurricane, it dumped feet of rain and is prompting dangerous flooding up and down the Gulf Coast. Pensacola, look at this. That video really stands out to me right there. Obviously a dumpster sweeping away. Look at this. This is in Pensacola. That bridge tore apart by these. This rain is covering the roads. Parking lots are underwater, and as we've seen, that dumpster just sweeping away. Okay, let's go to Alabama. A gas station is torn apart. Powerful winds rip the roof right off. Brittany Eden is covering the storm for us in Alabama. So, Brittany, you've seen what this storm has done since it landed. Will you show us what the beach looks like there tonight? Okay, Lisa, thank you. Well, new at 6. You know, most of us can say we've lost a piece of mail or two from time to time, but how about $500,000 worth of stolen mail? The U.S. Attorney for the Mid-State says 41-year-old Adam Pirelli will now serve 5.5 years in prison after working with 2 women to steal mail from more than 500 people in Clarksville. So how did they do it? Well, investigators say they got a master key that allowed them to open large street boxes and apartment mailboxes. So they're accused of sorting through the mail they stole to look for checks, money orders, credit cards, and ID information. Of course, those other 2 women we talked about previously, they pleaded guilty and are awaiting sentencing. Well, he admits he murdered Holly Bobo, but tonight he's a free man. Jason Autry pleaded guilty earlier this week to killing the 20-year-old nursing student. His plea deal was in exchange for testimony that helped convict Zach Adams, who's now appealing his conviction. Autry's been in prison for 9 years, so the judge ruled his 8-year sentence had already been served. He was brought back to Nashville for processing and was released from prison this morning. Okay, so what about the people, though? There are nearly 1,900 new sick people today. Nearly 17,000 cases are active. Metro's case numbers have gone down considerably since a midsummer spike. State numbers are falling, but not nearly at the same rate. 24 people have died in just the last day. And let's look at the bed space real quick. Available statewide. 17% of both regular and ICU beds are available. Now, obviously, ventilators have been a key in this fight against the virus. 71% are available. Okay, so how does this sound? Coronavirus test results in 15 minutes. It's now an option in the Mid-State, and tonight we're getting a look at how it works. News 4's Cameron Taylor is live for us in downtown Nashville. So Cameron, explain this. This isn't for everybody, right? Okay, so imagine a high-speed race on the Korean Veterans Memorial Bridge. It is becoming the finish line for one of Nashville's biggest events, and this one includes a trophy. Man, Forrest Sanders always delivering the goods. Okay. So you think race cars, right? You think Indianapolis. Well, Nashville says we can do that too. We're going to do it downtown. News 4 broke this story for you yesterday. We got the official news today. The 2021 Music City Grand Prix will wind around the Nissan Stadium parking lot, cross the Korean Veterans Bridge twice, and loop through a small section of downtown Nashville. Super Speedway hosted the series from 2001 to 2008. Reigning champion and Hendersonville native Joseph Newgarden is excited to see his home showcased on international TV. So Mayor John Cooper puts this event on the same level of importance as the CMA Fest. And while it will require hundreds of Metro officers, firefighters, and public works employees, the mayor says the city will not be on the hook because it's a privately funded event. Traffic, obviously, is going to be disrupted a little bit, but we're told only minimally. All right, coming up next on 4, restaurant tables may be a thing of the past if this new idea takes off. Well, how about parking lot tables? There's a reason why, and it's aimed at helping business owners make it through this pandemic.
Thanks for joining us on air and streaming live tonight on the News 4 app.
So let's get you caught up now on the top local stories we are covering at this hour. Tonight, a memorial is about to take place in MCMINNVILLE in honor of Jordan Stevens. You'll recall Jordan was shot and killed during a carjacking and kidnapping over the weekend. That memorial will be at Hickory Creek Elementary starting at 7 o'clock. And tonight, sources confirmed to News 4 that a limited number of people will be allowed to be at the Titans game starting next month. The first game will be October 4th against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, that doesn't apply to this weekend at the home opener against Jacksonville. Okay, Lisa, thank you. Well, all they wanted to do was walk somewhere, and they died doing it. 3 people were killed walking just this week in Nashville. News 4's Carly Gordon has uncovered numbers that every pedestrian needs to see tonight. All right, just in time for this perfect weather that Lisa's been telling you about. Starting now, restaurants in Nashville can expand their businesses outside. The council unanimously approved the Sidewalk Cafe bill last night. News 4's Alexandria Adams shares us now what this could mean for restaurants that have really been struggling. Okay, coming up, it's September. We're not quite to Halloween, but if you can't wait and you need something spooky now, we've got you covered. We're going to show you why next. Okay, so our poll of the day is up on WSMV.com. Mayor Cooper says if voters approve reducing the property tax increase from 34% to 2%, city services will be drastically effective. So we're asking if you're willing to give up school, police, and fire funding, among other things. 59% of you say you are willing. So we have a few of your comments which you've told us about. So Shell says, I don't mind a tax increase for schools and vital services. That is part of giving back to the community. But 34% is just too much. All right, so now let's go over to Christopher, who says no, the tax increase aligns with what the city needs. So keep sending us your comments and reacting to our poll because we do want to hear from you. Hey, talk about your scary moments. Look at this. 2 cranes collided in Texas today, sending construction workers scattering for cover. 22 people were injured, but they're expected to be okay. There was no structural collapse, and no one knows yet why those cranes fell. All right, we parents certainly know this right now. For some children, PE class is the only exercise they may get. So what if they're learning from home? What are we supposed to do? Well, Vanderbilt professors say it's too early to find out just how much activity is really being missed. But they are concerned to make sure that kids are getting enough physical activity. They say parents, we're just going to have to take the lead and get the whole crew involved. So exercise, obviously, for the kids isn't just important for their physical health. It also improves their mental health, boosts their immune, and can even lead to a better night's sleep. How about this? NASCAR is back in Tennessee again this weekend. Bristol Motor Speedway is the first sports venue in the state to bring fans back inside during NASCAR's All-Star race in July. Now the track is back in action with races in all 3 major NASCAR series. The Truck Series playoff race is tomorrow. The Xfinity Series regular season finale is Friday. And the final race of the first round of the Cup Series playoffs is Saturday. The socially distant tickets that for the race have been sold out, but there are still some available for the first 2 races. Well, Saturdays are about to get a bit busier. That's because the Big Ten Conference is reversing their decision. Fall sports for their 14-member schools are happening after all. Football will come back mid-October. They're going to be a bit behind other conferences, so they're only going to be able to play 8 games. The conference is slowly introducing stringent safety regulations and COVID-19 policies to keep players and coaches safe.
That's going to do it for us right here on News 4 at 6:30. We'll be back with the latest news at 10 o'clock.
We will, and we're going to leave you tonight with a moment of peace. Take a look at Drone 4 looking over Bellevue tonight. Have a great evening, everybody. We'll see you back here at 10.